is our next video in our coiling series. We're about halfway through our build and I've started for the day and I'm continuing to level off the top and to score my surface so that my clay, my harder clay or leather hard clay will adhere to the more soft or plastic coil that I'm adding to its surface. So not only do we score, but we're going to add a little bit of slip to that surface. We don't have to add a lot, but we are working that in really well so that we are making that more leather hard base more plastic so that that softer coil will adhere to it. So I'm also scoring my coil, getting that scored up so it'll have more surface area to grab the slip within the piece. Now I'm really making sure that this first coil that I add on in the new day that I'm working on this is really stuck onto this piece, and I'm going to do it by both blending the inside and the outside of my form. So I'm using my thumb to blend, kind of push that clay down over the seam, and then I go back to the outside. I'm really compressed to make sure that that first coil is really attached to the top. And I see I've got about 2 to 3 more coils that I'll probably need to add. So for this next coil, we don't have to slip and score because the clay is the same plasticity. It means it has the same amount of moisture. So we're going to go ahead and stick that new coil onto our piece just by blending. And again, when I blend the inside of my piece, because now I'm changing my direction, I'm using that sort of back area of my thumb that's right next to my joint, and I am just pushing that clay over the seam. And again, we check with the template to make sure that we are on track with our build. After we add a few coils on, it's good to go and give your piece some compression. I'm using a credit card for this, and I'm really kind of smoothing from the very bottom all the way up to the sides. With this, we are compacting those clay particles, we're making your pot stronger, and we're also smoothing it in the process of doing that. You can see that I probably need to add another coil on the inside, but one thing that we can do to work on that outside is to hold your hand in the middle of that, and if you have a very clean and smooth surface, you can actually roll the edge of your hand against the inside of the coil pot, and this really helps get some of those little dents or bumps out if you've got some coils that are sticking out, or if you have that seam that shows up every time you add a new section to an older section. So for my next coil, I'm again going to add it onto that inside edge because I think I need one more before I start changing direction with this piece. So rolling some more coils, making sure that we're still rolling coils that are very much the same size and shape, just to make sure that our build is very uniform for our coil pot. And then when I put this on, I'm going to really make sure that I check out that opening, making sure it's symmetrical. And if it isn't, I can always add clay to the inside, or I can cut extra clay off. But again, we blend both the inside and the outside of our piece. Okay, once we do that, we go back to our compressing the outside and scraping it smooth. And again, this works really well to compact those clay particles. And it's always a two-handed process. One hand on the inside, one hand on the outside. And I think that's really, we have to stop for the day. If we keep on adding coils, that rim may collapse, so we're just going to smooth it, let it set out for 1 hour, and wrap it up for the day. And you can see how well that template helps you create forms. Here's another coil pot that I've been working on at the same time. All right, good luck everybody.